Coming up on Air Force Space Today, we profile the efforts to reduce launch costs. The United States successfully brings down an ailing satellite. We take you behind the scenes of launch operations on the East Coast. And we introduce you to an Air Force doctor who moonlights for NASA on this edition of Air Force Space Today.
Main engine ignition, 4, 3...
Space Shuttle Atlantis launches from Kennedy Space Center.
0 and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis as Columbus sets sail on a voyage of science to the space station. Houston now controlling.
It's a great honor to be selected to be part of any mission, and especially a part of the Space Shuttle program. It's a way for me to be involved with the space program, which was a dream of mine for many years.
Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Columbus weighs anchor from its port in Florida. Atlantis on the proper alignment, heads down, wings level for the 8.5-minute ride to orbit, taking aim on the International Space Station.
Well, it was in 1991 when I started as a flight surgeon. I worked for Special Operations. Specifically, I was the flight surgeon for the 55th Special Operations Command at Hurlburt Field.
See, you're doing great.
And then after that, I subspecialized in ear, nose, and throat, and after that, I finished up my time in the Air Force on active duty and joined up with the reserves. During that time, I transitioned to being a part-time flight surgeon and was lucky enough to be selected for being part of the space program. For every 2 astronauts, there is 1 pavehawk that has a doctor on the back of it, as well as 2 pararescuemen. So for today's scenario, there were 8 Space Shuttle astronauts, and so there were 4 helicopters, 4 doctors, and 8 pararescuemen. What the mission is to support the Space Shuttle astronauts in case something were to go wrong, either during a launch if they were going to have to return to the launch site, or they were going to have to abort and go once around the Earth and come back, or during a landing. They only get 1 shot because they're coming through without power. They're coming down as a glider. And so if anything goes wrong during the landing, they may end up in the Everglades, they may end up in the ocean, and if that's the case, then we are there to rescue them. Some of the thoughts would entail what kind of scenarios might I have to be taking care of here over the next few hours? What kind of injuries might the astronauts have in a given scenario? You know, like today, we were worried about poor weather, and so I'd be worried about exposure type things, as well as exposure to all of the toxins and toxic things that are on the space shuttle that could affect a patient. I'm also thinking about how I can best support the pararescuemen that are here with us as well, because they're going to be the first line of defense when somebody is downed and we can't get to them readily. They're going to be dropped into the area first and try to get the patient stabilized. The airframe that we use is the HH-60 Pavehawk. A Pavehawk is a very close cousin to the Black Hawk, which is used by many other services, including the Army. The real difference is the capabilities that it has, including increased avionics. It has increased GPS capabilities. It has the ability to fly in low terrain, in basically no light scenarios, in bad weather, and it also has the capability of refueling, which is an incredible experience to watch. To be able to see a helicopter joining up within about 30 feet of a flying C-130 and to be able to get fuel on the fly and then be able to continue its mission is an absolutely amazing thing to watch. I tell you, this has got to be one of the most incredible experiences in the world, to get to be a part of the space program and to really feel like you're making a difference. The astronauts really wouldn't be able to go up without all of the support personnel that it takes. So I find this mission to be a great honor, and it's absolutely one of the most incredible experiences that I could have ever imagined.